The goal of FOES, which is Free the Oregon Zoo Elephants, is to get the elephants that are in the Oregon Zoo right now. There are 5 of them. The goal is to get them into sanctuaries, reputable sanctuaries, so that they can live a life as wild as possible without concerts and screaming children and barely any room to roam with trees, and they can live a life as wild as possible because they can't be released back into the wild at this point. They are dependent on humans, but conditions like this aren't fair to them and they don't like it. So our goal is to get them into sanctuaries. You know what's funny is that one of the arguments that the zoo makes is that if we release these elephants to sanctuaries, you're not going to go away. You're going to continue and you're just going to go on to another animal. They're absolutely right. We can't really argue that. FOES is a smaller group, and we want to we as a group, we're small individual people. We love elephants. I spent time with them in Thailand. I spent time with elephants that were in a sanctuary, and I got to know them and I learned about them. And if you know about elephants, they are, next to humans, the most matriarchal animals alive. They're extremely sentient, emotional. They get attached to their family units. They're just like us. And could you imagine your family being stuck behind bars as entertainment? Not even your family, not even your blood family. You just get stuck with a group. It's unnatural, and it's not fair to them. It's very, very detrimental to them. And elephants are going extinct. We're really down to the wire. I mean, at this point, a lot of our wildlife is going extinct. Which is why it's really, really important that we get them out. You know, elephants could single-handedly reverse all of the deforestation that humans have inflicted upon the earth, because that's what they do. They plant forests. They can't do that here. They can't be natural. They can't be elephants. So, but it doesn't stop at elephants. I mean, the lions exhibit this kind of behavior. The tigers, the giraffes, they're all terribly, terribly depressed. They don't want to be behind bars. The chimps, they're all emotional, sentient beings. You have to understand that we have all the same organs. We're made up of the same things, and if they've got a brain and we've got a brain, there's no way that if you think about it, you can't relate. And you should be. Oh boy. The breeding program here is one of the biggest problems that we have with the Oregon Zoo. The Oregon Zoo, in compliance with the AZA, is a leader in elephant breeding. What you have to understand is that of the 28 elephants that have been born at the Oregon Zoo, 21 of them are dead. All of them prematurely, because no elephant can live a full life in the zoo in captivity. Unfortunately, it's just never happened. They live maybe half of their lifespan. The breeding program is failing. It's a failed program, but they won't give it up. Currently, we are really trying to get them to stop the breeding program, end the breeding program, stop the buying, breeding, and importing, and the selling of elephants. That's our current project right now. Once we get that done, once we can focus on not getting more elephants into the zoo, we can focus on getting these guys out a little bit easier, hopefully. So a lot of foot and arthritis issues like TB, arthritis, a lot of like diseases, foot diseases, because they're not on their proper surface. The zoo when they updated the elephant lands, they did put grass down. It used to have concrete and TB was running rampant. So they put sand down. And I'm not quite sure why they chose sand, because it's not dirt or mud. It gets extremely hot or extremely cold. Not to mention, if they ingest the sand, which they're eating off of, it can cause blockages. So it's actually pretty dangerous. It's not great. It's not going to protect their skin from the sun. It's not going to protect their skin from the sun or the cold. So sand is a cheaper option, and that's probably why. That's what I'm guessing. That's our theory. Also, herpes is what a lot of the elephants die from. Lily just died from it in November. The herpes virus in captive elephants runs rampant, and the zoo's argument for that is that it's also in wild elephants. The thing is that there's been no record whatsoever of an elephant in the wild dying from herpes. It's obviously harder to figure it out, but it runs rampant in captivity. And as the herpes virus is what it is, a lot of humans know about it. I'm sure it is very different in wild animals, but in humans anyway, if you have the herpes virus, something that elicits like a breakout or is stress. So it makes a lot of sense that it kills a lot of elephants, and especially babies. It's very quick, it's fatal, it happens overnight almost, there's no cure for it. But the zoo continues to say that they are trying, they're finding a cure for it. It's just, all they're doing is poking the elephants every week for blood samples to send up. Like it's just wasting our tax dollars is what it is. Yeah, so we have the regular gates to like keep people from getting in there, but around the entire enclosure, you'll see this like wiring, and that's weird. Why would that stop an elephant? An elephant can stomp on that and get right out. They're electric. The elephants know that, and the zoo will say, well, it's not always on. But you'll see the elephants very nimbly try to get grass where they can, and they'll do their very, very best not to touch the fence, because whether it's on or off, they're really not going to try and figure it out. So yeah, it is electric. It's an electric fence. That's what keeps the elephants in. The trees are just out of reach of the elephants. You'll notice that the elephant lands does not have one tree in it. One of the greatest joys of an elephant's life is foraging on trees and eating fruit, and then subsequently replanting those trees. As they destroy them, they replant more. That's the beauty of elephants. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're made for. They're the color of our earth because they are our earth. Hi Rosie, or is that Shine? There are no trees here. Elephants forage on trees for 16 to 18 hours a day. Here they're fed on timed feeders, mostly hay, and the Oregon Zoo has said that they feed them about a quarter of what they do in the wild. If the elephants here were full and happy and eating all the time, they would try to get out. And the Oregon Zoo says that they would get into mischief, they would get into trouble. That means they try to get out. So they keep them hungry so that they continue to search for food, and that's basically what they're doing all day. In order for them to not try and get out of here, because they will. They're smart. They'll figure it out if they really wanted to. I could speak about these elephants all day, and I feel like I have today. But I just don't want people to forget some of the history of the Oregon Zoo and this habitat. I don't want to forget that 17 years ago, Rose 2, she's the one that was right behind me. She's the mom. She lost her baby. Let's not forget she just lost Lily. I also don't want us to forget that 17 years ago, a keeper here beat her with a bullhook and anally raped her with that bullhook. And the vet counted 176 lacerations on Rose 2, on this elephant right here, before he called it, because she was under too much stress. The Oregon Zoo will say that they don't use bullhooks anymore, but they do have bullhooks. The elephants know that the bullhooks are here, and she'll never forget that. Elephants never forget. That's one of the things everybody knows about them. She was beaten really badly here, and the elephant curator who watched her get beaten is still the curator here today, Bob Lee. He watched it happen, and he's still running this show. If you want to get involved, you can follow us on social media. It's really easy. Just email us, come to our protests and our vigils, sign our petitions, and let the zoo know that it's not okay and that the elephants need to go. It's public pressure that's going to get them to do the right thing. And so that's how you can get involved. We hope you will.